Hello everybody, this is Orlando Mendez. I want to share with you this exhortation. The other day while I was reading my devotion, my chapters for the day, in the book of Genesis chapter 22, this is where God asked Abraham to offer up his promised son to him and to give him back in a sacrifice. Me as a father, that would be hard. That would be scary. That would be shocking if God promised me a son and then he asked me to give him back to him. But this is the case in this chapter where God told Abraham to sacrifice your son to me and give him back to me. And I can imagine this promise that God had gave Abraham. He'd been waiting for decades, and the son that he was praying for, and now God says, give him back to me. But here's the powerful thing here. See, Abraham, he obeyed God. He didn't delay the conversation. He didn't delay that commandment that God gave him, or that asked of him. But he simply trusted God, and he knew somehow that God would come through for him. And so, as you read in this chapter, they began to walk up the mountain. And Isaac, he looked at his father and he asked the simple question of, Father, I see the fire, I see the wood, but where's the sacrifice? Where's the lamb at? And Abraham, he responded with one of the greatest faith statements. He said, my son, God will provide himself a lamb. And guess what? He did. God came through for Abraham. And that's right. That's right where Abraham, he was just about to go through with sacrificing the son, and that's when God stopped them. The angel of the Lord stopped them, and he's seen that Abraham was not holding anything back, and God knew. God didn't want Isaac's life, but he wanted Abraham's heart, and he wanted to know that would he trust God? Would he trust him with, even if it would hurt? And would Abraham hold anything back? And guess what? Abraham, he passed the test. And we can see that he named that place Jehovah Jireh. The Lord will provide. So let me tell you, I don't know what mountain that you might be climbing. You might be climbing a mountain right now. I don't know what God might be asking you to lay on the altar. But I want you to know this thing, that God still provides. Not always in the way that we would expect. Not always in the timing that we would want it. But God is always on time. He always comes through. And we see this, and this is a picture where Jesus, he became the sacrifice for us. And just like Isaac was carrying the wood for his father Abraham to make a sacrifice, we see that Jesus, he carried the cross. We see that Abraham, that God stopped Abraham. But Jesus, he becomes the lamb, the sacrifice. And today, I want you to get a hold of this, that God sees you, and God knows, and God will provide. He is Jehovah Jireh, and he is still faithful. So God bless you.